Hey guys, it's Perically Hedgehog here. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. I've had a couple of weeks off, away from gaming quite so much and flying and DCS stuff. So I needed a break from it. I hope you got a break as well. Had a good Christmas. Happy New I can't say that. Happy New Year to you, and I hope it finds you well. Today's update, of course, is a big one. Let's talk about what's going on in DCS world because these are exciting times. We've got a new map. The Mariana Islands map has been announced, and no specific dates on its actual release, but it will be a free map, and it's going to include a series of islands and some really good stuff. Now, the intention here is that they wanted to create a new combat environment. They wanted to have a very large ocean area. They wanted to have natural red and blue contested locations. We're talking about sides, not so much colors. Home at least to one modern US Air Force base, and feasible for US, Russia, and China operations in the Pacific. And they wanted the opportunity, therefore, also to take advantage of the Chinese assets pack. So it's going to be 400 by 400 kilometers in size, and the US Air Force base there, the Andersen Air Force Base, is one of the largest US Air Force bases in the region, and it's situated on Guam and serves as an anchor for US forces in the Pacific region. But it's also within reach of the Chinese and Russian Pacific forces to the north, so the same island chain also served as the backdrop to World War II battles of Guam and Saipan and Rota, as well as the carrier versus carrier Mariana Islands battles. So it's got some history, military history attached to it, so it'll be a nice addition to the game based on some of the pre-release shots that we have here from Eagle Dynamics, which is very nice. They're going to have lots of detail on these islands as well, including, as I mentioned, the Andersen Air Force Base. International airports will be there as well, and other bits and pieces associated therewith. I won't go through all of this because it's a lot of stuff, but it ranges everything from the naval station and Guam Port Authority to the golf courses along the eastern coast, Tinian International Airport, am I saying that right? Urban areas of San Jose. So we've got lots and lots of detail, and I think it's going to be, as I said, a great addition to the game, and it's free, so you can hardly complain. Next, we've got lots of good stuff here. Bear with me. Whew. So lots of aircraft were released last year in 2019, which included the F-16, the Viper, the FW-190A8 Anton, the F-14B, of course, the Tomcat, the JF-17 Thunder, the Christen Eagle. Pause while I take some tea here. Throat was acting up a little bit today. Still a little bit getting over from whatever I had a while back there. And again, it kind of bugs me. Throat gets a bit scratchy. The I-16, completion of the C-101, and a new A-10C cockpit, which we have kind of showcased a little bit better. Continued development. I was looking at the F-18C here, the Harrier M2000C and other modules, of course the F-16 as well. So it was a busy year for them, and they want to continue on, and they've got some very exciting news. Here we go. Oh, look at this. Here we are. Oh my. The A-10C, the Warthog 2. Now, following the A-10C cockpit update, which I showcased recently, we'll also be releasing, apparently, the Warthog 2 sometime in 2020. This will be a dramatic visual and systems upgrade to our A-10C. Once the new features have been finalized, we look forward to sharing them with you. In addition, the Warthog 2 being available as a new module. This will replace the A-10C Warthog, and it will be available to existing Warthog owners at a significant discount. So I don't know what significant means in this case, but a discount all the same, and that is very exciting. What they've done so far with the new cockpit rendering is quite spectacular, so I expect nothing less than spectacular for the rest of the aircraft as well when it's released, so that's exciting. Also, equally as exciting is especially if you're a rotary wing fan, maybe not equally as exciting for everybody, but if you are a fan of the Ka-50 Black Shark, we've already had the 1 and the 2 several years ago that kind of brought it up to speed with the other modules in the game as the franchise has evolved. They're now going to release, hopefully this year by the looks of things, the Black Shark 3. Now, since the Black Shark 2 upgrade many years ago, they've said here that their technology has improved greatly to allow us to create an even better KA-50 Black Shark. So, as with the A10C, this includes both graphical and system upgrades. We will release a free update to the Black Shark 2 that provides a free overhaul of the cockpit graphics. This is not simply updated textures, but rather a completely new cockpit 3D mesh and high resolution textures. This will also address any remaining cockpit lighting issues. Later in 2020, we will release the KA-50 Black Shark 3. This upgrade will build on the free cockpit update and add the following features. Option for weathered cockpit textures, completely new external model with the much improved 3D mesh detail and textures. Will also account for the new systems like the missile launch warning systems, directional infrared countermeasures, and the Eagler air-to-air missile, which it will be able to carry up to 4, and integrated missile launch warning systems, and integrated directional infrared countermeasures system with the associated displays. Excuse me. So, in total, it's going to make the KA-50 much more deadly and survivable on the DCS World Battlefield, and that is exciting. The existing owners of the KA-50, like the A10C, will get a significant discount for version 3, so stay tuned and stand by for that. Next, the P-47D Thunderbolts. The next warbird, World War II aircraft in other words, will be the P-47D Thunderbolt, and it's going to be the first Allied radial engine warbird for DCS World, and it will fill in a fun and interesting role in operations over Western Europe and beyond. You'll be able to do, of course, air-to-air and air-to-ground mission capability with it, provide a wealth of mission types, heavy armament, excellent protection, and long range. So it's a bit of a beast. I don't know much about the P-47D, but either way, it should be another useful addition to the game. It's going to embellish what's already a pretty useful franchise. And that includes this next thing too. They're also going to include a new World War II Europe map to coincide with the release of the P-47D. That's huge. That's a big announcement. That really will be very pleasing to those warbird pilots who embedded or invested in that particular type of flying. I can see that being highly popular, so stay tuned for that. In addition to that news, and I don't know when this is going to be released, I don't know if this is a 2020 release, I suspect it will be later, but following the P-47, the next warbird will be the Mosquito, which is a lovely aircraft, very fast, and it's going to fulfill the attack and reconnaissance roles, and with its high speed, apparently skimming over Europe at treetop height, will be very thrilling, and I have to agree, it's a lovely aircraft. Yeah, enough said. I don't know. It's just exciting. I think it really is, and well done DCS, because Eagle Dynamics at least. This is really positive news for the warbird pilots and the warbird fans, and it just adds an extra layer to the game's immersiveness. And speaking of immersiveness, let's get back to our rotary wing fix here. The Hind, which has been talked about for a long time on the forums and discussed and hinted at and secretly pined after. The Mi-24P Hind is going to be released in 2020, according to DCS. Of course, these are not set in concrete, so I don't want to be held to task here. I'm not a spokesperson for the company, but this is just what they are saying in their email. It will be the next helicopter for DCS World and will include cooperative multiplayer next generation graphics for the external model and cockpit, and a wide range of mission types from anti-armor attack to troop support, and also troop transport. So it's going to be a nice addition to the game, as the other K-50 and the A10C updates as well. It's a beast of an aircraft, a menacing looking machine, for me it's always ingrained as sort of as part of the Afghanistan background growing up as a teenager in the 80s. It's one thing that was always on the news was Russian attack helicopters flying around, Afghanistan and elsewhere. Probably made famous in the Rambo 3 movie as well, but either way, what we're getting is going to be a lot more sophisticated than that representation of that particular aircraft, and it's welcome. So obviously they're going to continue work on the F-16 and the F-18. One of the things that we are looking at here is a new FLIR system, and also air-to-ground radars, some new weapons and radar modes, so no surprises there. The F-18 of course has been worked on for some time, and a lot of people were a little bit upset that the F-16 kind of came about when it did, because they felt that it was going to detract from the development of the F-18. Yeah, I have mixed opinions on that, but it doesn't bother me too much. I think the F-16 was well worth introducing, and it's been a fun aircraft to fly, and it continues to get better every month as the layers of depth to the aircraft get added, and it's cool. The Huey's going to get an update as well for multiplayer. Modern Air Combat is going to be a watered-down version of the study sim stuff, less of a learning curve. It's going to be focusing more on kind of action. It's going to be a AAA title that they have been working on, and with the work they've been doing on it, they have pushed the date back a little to later in 2020, but who knows. DCS, the Kiowa Warrior, is the Polychop that's going to come out, and Razbam is working on the F-15E Strike Eagle. That's exciting. And then next week they're going to release some more information about the non-aircraft projects. I haven't heard anything here about the aircraft carrier. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. Prickly Hedgehog out. I will see you around. Thanks for tuning in again. I hope you had a great break, and hope 2020 is going to start off for you well and continue on that way. Carry on flying. We'll see you around.